Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll invite you to come into a comfortable position. You can choose if you want to be seated or on your back. Let the body get really settled in a place where you feel supported by the earth. And take a deep in breath. And sigh it out. Begin to invite your attention to the places that are in contact with the ground. And we'll just come into the felt experience of sensing the earth. The felt experience of weight of the body. And notice how there is so much to be focused on in each moment, so that each moment contains a multitude of possibilities where our attention can go towards. And it's just a matter of learning how to direct attention to the places that we want to direct it to. So right now I'm asking you to direct it towards the felt experience of your own weight against the ground. And you can notice that whatever else is happening, any sounds that are happening in the room, that they have the potential to to take your attention away, but you can still choose to redirect attention back to the sensation of weight and the parts of the body that are in contact with the ground. And as you experience your own body against the earth, you might start to notice sensation in the body, like tingling sensation around the fingertips or the feet, or other sensation around your heart space or your belly. Beautiful. Take a deep in breath and let it go. And start to slowly make your way into a seated position. So if you are reclined, you might choose to roll over onto your side and come up to seated, rubbing the palms together before placing them on top of the chest or joining them at the heart. Take a moment to find your Ujjayi breath, the breath that allows you to bring the throat into a subtle constriction, and you can breathe in and out of the nose. So it's like this. This breath allows you to return into focus throughout class and maintain a sense of concentration. Let's open with the sound of Om together, a cleansing breath. Inhale. He says you open your eyes, take your time to just take some moments to circle throughout the wrists to give them a little bit of a warm-up for the weight-bearing postures we'll be taking. You can do either one wrist at a time or both. I like to also open the fingers and crunch them in a few times. And then at some point, also shake the wrists. Nice. Make your way slowly into a table pose next. It just came back. It's good. It just came back. So just arch and curl and let the head kind of become part of the equation too, rocking it side to side and releasing through the neck. Good. Now separate your knees a little bit wider and walk your hands a couple of handprints forward. And maybe tent your fingers on the ground as you draw your hips back with the in-breath. The out-breath, shift forward into a bit of a plank, but with your knees on the ground. And back again. And do that just a few times. And you can start slowly, a little bit at a time, dropping your hips to the earth to open up through the chest. Doing that really nice and kind of gently on your lower back. Now take that into circular motions towards the right a few times to get into your hips. Feeling into the side body, and then switching direction. I think it's good, Amy. Yeah. Finally, making your way into a child pose, you can allow your hips to draw all the way back and relax. Let the head find the earth and reconnect your attention back to the ground. This time your forehead is touching the ground. Can you feel your breath within your chest? And can you feel the upper back as well, expanding and lowering each time you breathe in and out? As you return back into table pose, curl your toes underneath you and extend your hips up and back in a downward facing dog. Notice now where your feet are at, where your hands are at, and the contact of the feet to the ground. Notice how when we direct attention to the earth, there is a sense of support and safety that can happen physiologically in the body. Like I'm in contact with this large surface that's super, super expansive and strong. And it's got me, it's got my body. It's holding me up. Shift your weight a couple more times back and forth, alternating between a plank and a downward dog. Let your body kind of guide you into these back and forth motions, inviting either some bending in the knees as you press back or some rolling forward around the spine, depending on how you like. And reaching the right leg up towards the sky, breath in. On the breath out, bring your knee towards your chest and step forward lightly, bringing your back knee to the ground. Rise up into a low crescent, positioning your right hip on top of your right knee. Take your right arm all the way up with the in-breath. Feel that expansion upwards throughout the side body and side bend to the left. Do it one more time. Come back to the center, breath in. Maybe circle through that right arm a couple of times. And then expand it back up. And another side bend. I'm having you do it the wrong way. Switch legs. My bad. I'm sorry, I'll switch legs. Here's what we'll do. So I want you to take that left side body and expand it. I was wondering what looked really funny. It was my legs that were in the wrong place. And now turn and find that side bend to the other side. Good. So the right leg is forward. The left knee's under the left hip. The left arm is extending up and side bending. Nice. Return into your downward dog. Lengthen through. And then take the left leg up and step it forward. Come into a low crescent here, same way. And now take your right arm up and side bend to the other. Just back and forth a couple of times. And slowly come back into a downward facing dog. Let's slowly walk your hands towards your feet to come into a forward fold. Let the body feel the support of the ground with your feet. Bent knees to allow for the upper part of the body from the waist up to kind of release a little more. Slowly rise up. I like to place my hands on my thighs to press up the first time around. You can do the same if your lower back is a little bit tender. Take a breath in, arms reach overhead. On the breath out, bow forward, coming into a forward fold. A half lift with the in-breath. The out-breath, walk the hands forward to come into a plank pose. Solidify your plank, walk your feet as far back as they need to so that your torso and your hips are parallel to the ground. Take it in and out. The first version of Chaturanga Dandasana, you can drop your knees to the ground and keep your chest forward, breath in. On the breath out, lower down halfway. Coming all the way down and opening up for baby cobra. Take it in, and on the way out, press yourself back up to your downward facing dog. Take your time to either walk your hands towards your feet if you like that, or walk your feet towards your hands. Just showing you the options you can go for throughout class that support your body. And slowly rise up to stand. Breath in. And breath out, bow. In for a halfway lift. Out, plant the palms down and step back. Holding yourself up in a plank pose. Taking it in. and out. Now, if you want to take it a step further, you might keep the knees lifted as you shift forward slightly with the in-breath. On the out-breath, lowering down halfway to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhaling for an upward-facing dog. That's the second option versus baby cobra to your downward-facing dog. So pick one of these options throughout class that work for your body, or transition from one to another depending on what's going on with your body. Another thing you can do in between is some push-ups to fire up and strengthen the upper body and the core during those vinyasas. Take a breath in and a breath out. The right leg rises up to the sky with the in-breath. The out-breath brings the knee to the chest, curling the spine. Do it 2 more times. Inhale, lengthen back. Exhale, knee to chest. One last time, breath in. On the breath out, step forward for a warrior 1. Dial the back heel down, reach those arms up towards the sky. Take it in. On the out, open it up to your warrior 2. Reverse your warrior, flipping the front palm, keeping your weight in that front leg, in breath. Out breath, cartwheeling the hands through, taking it either to your downward dog or vinyasa through with your option of the vinyasa. Deep in breath and out breath. And the left leg rises up, breath in. Knee to chest, curl it. 2 more times. As you step forward, find your warrior 1. Open up through the side body, arms overhead, breath in. On the breath out, warrior 2. Flipping the front palm, reverse your warrior, breath in. On the breath out, cartwheeling the hands through, taking your optional vinyasa to downward dog. Deep breath in and a breath out. Let's do it 1 more time. Right leg to the sky, breath in. Out breath, knee to chest, curl it. 2 more times. Warrior 1 next. To warrior 2. Taking it in as you reverse and taking it out as you come back down to your down dog with the optional transitional flow. Do it on the next side on your own speed. All of us meeting back in a downward facing dog with a deep breath in and a letting go. Notice where your shoulders are at. Can they release a little bit more down the back? Maintaining this awareness, directing your attention to your feet, to your hands, this strong support of the earth. Calming, cool, spacious earth. And we take the right leg to the sky with the next in-breath. On the out-breath, bring the knee towards the chest and curl. Hold it here and step it forward to come into your runner lunge. As you keep that strength in the front leg, hover in your runner lunge, drawing the heart forward, reaching those arms back for 3, 2, and 1. Rise up into your crescent, bending the back knee, tucking the pelvis under. Inhale. On the exhale, dip down and rise back up on the in-breath. The next time you dip down and see if you can find a twist towards the right. Rising back up to stand, breath in. And another twist to the right. Inhale, rise. Do that 3 more times. Ujjayi breath. Last time, twist and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rise back up to crescent in breath. On the out breath, dial the back heel down for your warrior 2. Make fists with your hands to circle your wrists through. Feel the strength of this warrior as you expand those arms apart and relax your shoulders. Begin to feel the water element in the body, where the water is fluid and soft. So feel that softness in your arms and feel it in your breath. And we'll start to take some back and forth side bending. As you reverse your warrior next, expand the front leg as well with an in-breath. On the out-breath, rebend the knee and come into a side angle, expansion of the left side body. And go back and forth between these two on your own pace, paying attention to the earth under your feet, firm and strong, and to the water within your arms and torso and breath as you flow between the two sides. One last in-breath as you reverse the pose with an in-breath, and on the out-breath, coming into a side angle to hold it. See if you can find that hold while maintaining awareness of these two elements. The softness of water, the flowiness, the fluidity in the breath, and the solidity in the legs with the earth element. Come back through to the center, inhale and reverse it. On the exhale, cartwheel the hands down, taking it straight to down dog or vinyasa through. And the left leg slowly rises up, breath in. On the breath out, the knee comes to the chest, hold it, then step it forward for your crescent. Find your runner, and then rise up with a strong core to your crescent. Taking a dip just to get yourself acclimated with the dip. Back knee bends, pelvis tucks under. Inhale, rise. On the exhale, the next time you dip, take a twist towards the left. Rising back up with the in-breath and out-breath. And as you exhale, take it into a side angle. Nice and slow and fluid. Active, yet soft. One last time with the inhale and the exhale, holding your side angle. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reverse it back with the in-breath. On the out-breath, taking your vinyasa through or straight to your downward facing dog. Three long breaths here, in and out. Steady breath and patient breath. Nice. Right leg slowly rises up with the in-breath. This time, see if you can keep the leg long, yet stack it on top of the left hip. So open up through the right hip with that right leg elongated and kind of really feel that stacking. Nice. Re-square it with the in-breath. And on the out-breath, bring the knee to the chest and hold for 3, 2, 1. Step it forward for your crescent lunge. Rise up. Take it in together. Bending back knee, tucking pelvis under. On the out, take that twist with the dip like we did before. Rise back up with the inhale. With the exhale, start to hinge forward, drawing your hips back and your chest forward. Then take your left wrist or forearm and press it against the right thigh and vice versa, and twist from your mid-back to find that nice long line of energy from heel all the way up to crown. For 3, 2, and 1. Return back to the center and launch into balance into your airplane position. So you're going to take your weight forward, come up on the tippy toe in the back foot, either stay here or raise that left leg. As you relax your shoulders a lot, you can choose if you want to change your arm variation. For 3, 2, and 1. Land back in your crescent. Breath in. On the breath out, open it back up to your warrior 2. Hinge towards me to find your way into your triangle pose, elongating the front leg as you hinge and coming through with either the left arm extended or the left hand on the hip. One more in-breath. With the out-breath, rise up to stand and get both feet to face the side for a wide-legged stance. Press your hips forward, tucking that pelvis under. Open through your heart and open through your arms, either interlacing them behind the back or drawing them sideways to find that heart opening. As you come back through to the neutral position, begin to bow forward into a wide-legged forward fold. Once you arrive, let your body feel the spaciousness of the pose itself, while you're paying particular attention now to the feet on the ground, the fluidity of the breath, and maybe starting to introduce the more fiery kind of sensation in the core. Navel pulls in and up, pelvic floor is engaged. Good. Rising back up with the in-breath. The out-breath, you walk towards your right foot to face the front again, coming into a runner lunge. This time, either keeping your left hand on the earth or on a block, twist again towards the right, potentially dropping the back knee to see if that makes it feel better on your body. Come back through to the center and re-extend that right leg up and back in a three-legged dog. Potentially this time, when you stack the hips, you might bend the knee and draw the right knee a little higher up, or you might flip your dog to see if that feels appropriate on your back, positioning your feet equally apart as you rise with the hips. Coming back through to your downward facing dog, breath in and breath out. Left leg rises up with the in-breath. We stack the hips with the leg nice and long. Square the hips again, nice long leg, breath in. On the breath out, knee to the chest for 3, 2, and 1. Stepping forward, rising up in your crescent, preparing with that pelvic tilt, arms reach overhead. On the breath out, dipping down and twisting. Inhale back to center. On the exhale, begin to hinge forward. Taking your twist a little bit differently now with the hinge as you take your right forearm or wrist up and over the thigh, activate it against the leg, and twist from the mid-back. Left arm maybe rises, maybe not. Coming through to the center to prepare for an airplane. Shift your weight into the front leg, back toes on the ground. You can stay here the whole time, work from here, or lift your right leg up. Pull the navel in and up, relaxing your shoulders. Then do what you want with the arms. For 3, 2, 1. As you land back in a crescent, inhale. The exhale, open it back up to warrior 2 and start to work towards your triangle pose, hinging towards me as you eventually elongate the leg and breathe in and out. Two more breaths. Last one. Beautiful. Come back to the center with the inhale. The exhale, wide-legged stance. Take that back bend again, pressing the hips forward. Arms potentially expand sideways. They can stay at heart space or they can interlace. And slowly bowing into a wide-legged forward fold. Three more breaths. Coming up and walking towards the front of the mat again for a runner lunge. Prepare for your third twist. Here, feet are hip distance apart. Right hand stays on the ground or on a block. And you twist it out, potentially dropping the back knee. For 3, 2, and 1. Come back to center. Extend the front leg up and back in a 3-legged dog and take it further into a flip dog if that's available. Back through to the center, to your downward facing dog. Deep breath in and a long breath out. Bend your knees a lot, press your hips back. Inhale, look forward. On the exhale, walk or float forward, coming into a forward fold. Take your time to rise all the way up with the in-breath. And the out-breath, find your Tadasana mountain pose. And just come home to your body, maybe even close your eyes. Sense the earth beneath you. And start to imagine that all of that tension is leaving your body by going down to the ground. All the way down. One more in-breath. And let it go. We'll prepare for a balance series here. You can take your block or your water bottle, place it maybe a foot in front of your right foot. We're going to come into a half moon balance as you shift your weight into your right leg. You can come up onto the tippy toe in that left foot and bow forward and bring your fingertips to that block or water bottle and start to slowly kind of stack your hips by taking the left hip on top of the right. And breathing in and breathing out. Good. Now land the foot to the back of the mat. Come into Warrior Two. And then turn to come into a wide-legged stance. Then switch legs to come into Warrior Two on the other leg, so that your left foot is now bent and your arms are nicely extended. From here, we're going to find a side angle. So hinging towards the back of the room, let that forearm release down to the inner thigh, maybe even stacking the elbow on top of the thigh. And staying active here for 3, 2, and 1. Release that right hand and come into a runner lunge facing the back of the room. And from your runner lunge, make your way into a standing split so that you're shifting your weight into the left leg and reaching the right leg high. Good. You might grab a hold of your ankle with your left hand here, or you can kind of bend and extend through the right leg a little to make it a bit more available. From here, we're going to land that foot back into a runner lunge. And then dial the back heel down to come on back up for your Warrior Two. Beautiful. Deep in breath. On the out breath, we'll find Goddess Pose. So the feet will readjust so that the heels can come in and the toes out. The tailbone elongates back down. The chest opens. And we come into a lotus mudra where the base of the hands is together, pinky, fingers, and thumbs. Reach that lotus up as you extend the legs. Breath in. On the breath out, bring it back down to the heart. Ujjayi in breath, press up. Ujjayi out breath, come down. 2 more. And out. Last one. And out. Come back into a wide-legged stance. Switch legs again for Warrior Two on the right leg. Reverse it with the in-breath. On the out-breath, cartwheel the hands through a vinyasa that you choose, or straight to your downward-facing dog. Shift your weight forward in a plank pose. Situate your hands under your shoulders. And then come on down into a forearm pose where you're still in a plank, but onto your elbows. Squeeze that core center, navel pulls in and up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the hips and open the heart, taking those arms sideways, squeezing shoulder blades muscles, activate the shoelace sides of the feet into the ground for 3, 2, 1. Lift the legs up for 3, 2, 1. Reverse push-ups up to downward facing dog. Three more breaths. Last in breath. And out. Take your time to bend your knees, pressing your hips back, look forward. And on the out breath, walk or float in a forward fold. Rise all the way through to stand, breath in. And breath out, Tadasana, mountain pose. Regain your ground. Relax your arms alongside your body. See how the shoulders are letting go of all the tension. Even out the breath. Just come back home. Feel your heart inside your chest. How all is well in your body, your back in your body. And we'll come into the other side of the Ardha Chandrasana half moon, taking your block to the front of the left thigh. Maybe a drink of water if you wish. And now, it didn't really work great for me to place my hand on the block before, so maybe you try something else. Maybe you try coming through into the stacking of the hips, first with bent knees, and then, once you find that solidity, then bow down. And if it worked great for you before, then just do that again, however it worked for you. Squeeze those glutes, keep the activity in the hugging of the muscles against the bones so that you're really using your leg muscles. And then try not to put all your weight on that block. See if you can use your core to rise up. Landing nice and slowly to your warrior 2. And then finding the wide-legged stance to switch to warrior 2 on the other side. Taking your way into a side angle on the other side, hinging, 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 and releasing. For 3, 2, and 1. Turn in a runner lunge to the back of the room and into a standing split. So shifting your weight into that front leg to lift. Relaxed effort in the upper body. Maybe grabbing a hold of the ankle with the right hand. Or maybe bending and extending through that left leg so that there isn't as much tension. We're going to eventually land back in a crescent lunge. And then dialing the back heel down, rising up into a warrior two. And coming through to your goddess pose, readjust the placement of your legs, heels in, toes out. And this time, instead of lifting the arms through and lowering with just up and down, I'm going to invite you to expand the arms sideways with the in-breath. And with the out-breath, reach onto your balls of the feet, coming up onto the balls of the feet as you reach the arms up. And on the out-breath, releasing. Again, in, squeeze the pelvic floor muscles. And out. Last time. And out. Beautiful. Come back into a warrior two on the left leg this time, reaching your arms alongside the body with an in-breath, and on the out-breath, reversing it. In-breath, come back to center, and out-breath, cartwheel the hands through, either through a vinyasa or to your downward facing dog. We'll shift forward again for that forearm plank. Taking the forearms to the ground, tucking the tailbone under, drawing the chest forward. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release your hips down, come into Sphinx Pose. Elbows walk forward slightly. They're still under your shoulders. Activate the shoelace sides of the feet down, including the pinky toes. So draw those pinky toes to touch the ground. And same with the big toes. Yes, and squeeze your legs. Then engage the pelvic floor and pull the navel in and up. So you're finding your bandhas now, your Mula Bandha, that's the root lock, your Uddiyana Bandha, that's the belly lock. And then we're going to try to engage that Jalandhara Bandha, the throat lock, where you draw kind of your chin down towards your chest, still maintaining a heart open. Yeah, it's hard for me to talk and do it. One more in-breath. On the out-breath, release just the lowermost ribs and reach your arms sideways, maintaining the same lock in the pelvic floor, in the belly, and reach your legs up. For 3, 2, 1. Relax your forehead on your hands. Rocking your hips side to side. And rest for a few breaths. And let the nervous system regain the awareness that all is well. Let go of the tension that's being held now through the body. Each breath at a time. Feel the ground and its safety, and feel the fluidity of the breath. And feel the fire burning in that belly, transmuting, transforming, letting go. Good, and taking your time to find a quad stretch here. Your forehead can stay at your left forearm. You can bend your right knee to grab a hold of the ankle or the foot, elongating the knee back and hugging in towards the center. If a half bow is available and feels good, you can grab a hold of your ankle or foot and press back, lifting your chest as well. Squeeze your glutes muscles and your left leg and stay active in all, potentially extending also your left arm, keeping it nice and engaged. For 3, 2, 1, release. And to the other side, starting with the quad stretch and transitioning further if you wish. And slowly coming out of the pose, press yourself upwards back into a table. And take a couple of arches and curls. Rise up onto your knees. And we'll take the block or the water bottle to the inner left ankle. Stay active in the knees, press the hips forward, and then draw the right leg to the side, maintaining that activity of the pelvic bowl kind of pressing and tucking under. Engage your right leg like you're hugging your right knee towards your ankle and vice versa. Your right ankle and vice versa, yeah. Then start to take a back bend here, taking your left hand to your block. And as you press your hips more and more forward, reach your right arm up, maybe going a little bit further in the bend, or taking your block a little lower. Coming back through. Take your hands down to the ground. Walk your shoulders so that they're on top of your wrists forward. And start to shift back and forth a couple of times. Getting into your inner legs here and your hamstrings. Maybe holding the stretch. Maintain awareness of that breath. And notice where your attention is traveling and bring it back to the breath. Good. Coming back through with the in-breath onto both knees and switching the positioning of the block to the inside of the right ankle. Extending your left leg to the side. It can be a bit more forward or more to the side, depending on what feels good on your hips. And then take that pelvis and press it all forward, tucking the tailbone under, engaging the left foot on the ground. And once you really find that place where your lower back is protected, start to rise up and bend. I tried it lower and then I liked it better higher, so you can just try different places of that block. You might not need the block at all. Coming back through to the center and releasing the hands to a back and forth pressing. Deep in breath and out. One more time and out. Good. Make your way slowly into a seated position. And take your feet to the outside edges of the mat. And start to turn the entire lower body and hips over to reach to the back. Yeah, you can lift that left hip off the ground. Look at my left leg. It's turning all the way through. Yeah. Turn it all the way through. And come back to center and do it on the other side. Don't hold back with turning the hips and the leg. And do it back and forth a few times. You might even bend your knees if it feels better on your body. Good. Now come back to the center. Let's come into a pigeon pose on the right side. So I'm going to take you through a variation of prone pigeon where the back knee is bent, or you can take that leg and extend it all the way through. If a prone pigeon is not available or doesn't work for your body, you can lie down on your back and take a recline pigeon. As you set yourself up in your pigeon, take it step by step. First, taking care that your joints are nicely stacked and protected. Then begin to keeping your chest open if this is really lovely on your hips, or starting to kind of hinge forward to your degree of the fold. A block under the forehead can feel really supportive and lovely here. And start to direct your attention again towards the support of the ground. Notice how your body is letting go of tension, breath by breath. The more you soften around your shoulders and your jaw, feel the breath go into your upper back
Expanding the ribs, expanding the side bodies too. And let the breath travel and swirl around the spine. Slowly take your way out of the pose
and transition to the other side of pigeon.
Bring your attention towards your legs. Feel the weight and the volume of the legs. And invite the tension to leave your body through your legs and down and out of the feet. Breathe into your feet. And find the depth of the earth. And slowly rise out of the pose.
Wrap the back leg through to come onto your backs. And pull your knees towards your chest and just circle them through a couple of times. And take one final posture of your choice before Shavasana. You might take a reclining twist or a recline bound angle or a happy baby pose. Eventually returning onto your backs. Finding your place on the ground, claiming your space. And claiming the sense of worthiness. We might have been taught throughout our lives that our worthiness depends on what we accomplish in life, or different belief systems that have been kind of passed through. And I invite you to consider that our worthiness is our birthright, in that we are already worthy by virtue of existing. Just like any flower or tree. And let the consideration sink in. That our value is not dependent on anything else. That we are unconditionally welcome into this existence. Let the attention feel the vibration of that existence in every cell of your being. Let the attention track that. Om Bhurvuvah Svaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya Om Bhurvuvah Svaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya Take a deep breath in and let it out. And start to stretch the body. Take your arms and legs and extend them apart, reaching the arms and elongating the right side body, the left side body. And slowly bringing your knees towards your chest for a little bit of a squeeze as you rock a little side to side, and then let your body roll over eventually onto your right or left side. Rising up eventually to a seated position. Recognizing this end of the practice by bringing the hands to your heart space. Acknowledging the existence of every single being in our lives as a gift, even the difficult ones in our lives as gifts for us to learn about ourselves, about our triggers, about the way we perceive things. Bowing to all of it. Take a cleansing breath. Inhale. I thank you for allowing me to teach you today, and namaste. Have a great day, everyone.